The flows of life. As I stood knee-deep in the cool mountain stream, I stooped with my open hand to savour the freshness of the crystal clear water. Trees swayed in the gentle wafting breeze, but my attention was drawn to the soft babbling sound as the river flowed over the pebbles on its bed, tumbling them along in its strong currents. In the centre of the stream was a rock that rose above the surface. The water flowed around it, leaving patterns and ripples, but the rock did not budge. I was about to wade back to the shore when something else caught my eye, a small green leaf floating and dancing lightly on the surface as the stream led it this way and that. It brought to mind the flow of our lives. We are born, we grow, love and change, and then we die. Happy children are like the leaf, living in the moment and leaping at opportunities for fun, surfing the ripples and enjoying the adventure. With maturity, many people become more conservative and like the pebbles are rolled along, getting caught up in striving as they seek after success. They may lose the flow and forget to be in the now as they reach for something bigger and better, more security, more money and more possessions. They begin to forget who they are, losing the spirit of play and lightness as the river of life tumbles them along. In the third age, these pebbles may become worn down, lose hope, spontaneity and flexibility, getting stuck in old habits and living in the past. They may sink to the riverbed and lie there, letting life pass them by. If we don't want to be a pebble being tumbled and worn down, then we can be like the rock in the river, conscious of our own beingness, true to our essence and standing in our own space. As the rock, we can become strong, letting the flow of life move about us. We won't be influenced by what we do not want, what we do not believe in, and what goes against our personal integrity. But how do we become that rock? I know what it's like to have others try to direct my path. For years, my brother tried to coerce me into this scheme or another, and it caused strong emotions between us. Then I learned a valuable phrase, which is a simple and magical tool. If anyone tries to impose his opinions on me, I simply stop, take a deep breath, and in my mind I say, "That's an interesting point of view." This calms me down and I can choose how I will respond rather than react. When somebody comes at us with unexpected something that runs counter to what we believe about ourselves, the instant reaction is to fight or flee, resist and react, or align and agree. Neither is a benefit. They both give energy to the disagreement and make us doubt who we are. The attack is like a sudden swell in the river, from a ripple to a tsunami wave, depending on how the severity is of the perceived attack on our beingness. Emotions arise as we feel the force of the water beginning to shift and toss us like a pebble. But by simply saying to ourselves, "That's an interesting point of view," we can choose to do nothing, at least for the time being. We can listen, consider and mull over the issue calmly and peacefully while remaining centred and grounded like that rock in the river. Then our reply becomes a well-considered response based on our instinctive knowing of who we are and how we truly feel about the views expressed. It also allows us to acknowledge the other person's position and carefully consider what is true and acceptable for both of us. This is empowering for both parties and creates respect, connection and affinity rather than distance. When we respect the other person's ideas and opinions without resistance and judgment, the love can flow freely. This requires practice, and I am still practicing. Sometimes I forget to use this magical tool and I get caught up in an exchange of opinions, or I react against the pressure of being told how I should be. When this happens, the affinity and love disappear, and I am left with yet another lesson. The failures, as much as the successes, prove to me how valuable this simple saying is. By doing this with my brother, I've been able to recapture that feeling of abiding love between us. There are times to go with the flow like the leaf, and there are times to stand in our own space like the rock. If we don't want to be tumbled along and worn down like the pebbles, we can sometimes float on the water of life, enjoying its challenges, freedoms, and its soothing balm. At other times we can be like that rock in the stream, standing in our own space, the essence of who we are, facing the world calmly with confidence, joy, and love. As Gregory David Roberts says, there is a river that runs through every one of us, no matter where we come from in the world. It's the river of the heart and the heart's desire. It's the pure, essential truth of what each of us is and what we can achieve.